All right, have a good show.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna do. I'm making it down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you chasing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put so hard on my grave lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Mine is my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm the one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual vet where my strength get pumped from. So let's go back to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hiding out. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want mile to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is after you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have come me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Bigger than it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game. So speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get it, my crown in. I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that I would chest it.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Good afternoon. What up, BFam1096.com. What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing at YouTube? This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. If you haven't already, y'all, head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I go live. Mind you, we're here every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central. Okay. Now let's get into this. Okay. I'm a little bit thrown off, y'all, because I scheduled a guest for the show today, and then I forgot to follow up with my guest. I didn't even write it down. But I'm so grateful that they did not forget. So today we do have a guest for you on the show. Do me a favor though. Let me know, where are you tuning in from today? How you doing? How was your weekend? And how are you? I just want to know how you're doing. So do me a favor and put that in the comments below or in the chat box, depending on where you're listening in. Let me know, how are you doing? Today I'm doing good. I guess I can go into my affirmations really, but I'm doing good, y'all. Last week was a bit of a roller coaster for me. So sorry if you missed me last week. I was not live on the air, but today I am feeling a lot better. I'm doing a lot better. And I hope that you all are doing better too. It's so funny to me when things throw me off, because then I'm completely loopy. Because I was just talking to my producer, and I was fine, and then I'm thrown off at the last minute in a good way, as well. And so y'all gonna love the food for thought quote when we get to that. With me being thrown off, you're gonna love that. But let me know, y'all, do you have your journals, your notebooks, your pens, your Bible, and your favorite drink? I did bring some tea today, so I hope you brought what you need today for the show, so that we can get into it and take notes on our business topic for the week. But I'm just gonna move into the affirmations, y'all, of this week. I started to write them down, and it is so funny because I put my notebook upstairs, my journal, the Tea Time Daily Journal. I put that upstairs, and so I started to write my affirmations down today, and then I totally forgot. Like, I moved away from it. Okay. And so if you're doing your affirmations today, let me know in the comments, what is your I am, I have, and I will affirmation for this week? For me, I'm just going to say I am pretty in pink, because if you can see, if y'all are watching, I have on a lot of pink going on today. Pink is my positive color. So I am pink. I am positive today. I feel positive. Today's a great day. And if it's not for you, I hope it gets better. Right. And today I have a positive outlook on what's to come soon in my life. I have a positive outlook on what's to come soon in my life, okay? And I will. What is your I will? I think for today, for my week, my I will is I will continue to grow, and I will continue to take on the tough challenges, y'all, because correction can be hard. Okay. And growth requires that, I think. I think that growth requires correction. And so I will continue to grow. Okay. And then, so what kind of week do you want to have, or what kind of day? Declare what kind of day or week you want to have. So saying today will be a whatever type of day, or this will be a whatever type of week. And for me, I think that this week is going to be a surprising week in a beautiful way. Okay. So I'm going to say that for my today will be a beautiful day in a surprising way, but also this week will be a surprising week in a beautiful day. So let me know what your affirmations are. Affirmations are sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises LLC. The world needs all you have to offer. Okay. And so let me know your affirmations. What is your I am, I have, I will? You can put those in the comments or in the chat box. And declare what kind of day or week you're going to have. Now, in my Tea Time Daily Journal, which I did forget to bring downstairs today with me, in that journal, it's a 30-day journal where you can write in your affirmations. Excuse me. You can complete your affirmations in that journal every day and check in with you. Excuse me, because that's about you filling up every day. Okay. It's like having a cup of tea every day. You get to do that. So don't forget to do your affirmations. If you can't do them daily, do them daily. If you can do them just when we're on the show, that's all the time you have, then be sure to have your pen and paper down, or your phone or something you can write your affirmations on, and declare, take control of your day, take control of your thoughts as well. Capture your thoughts, and determine how you want things to turn out. Okay. So those are our affirmations for today. Our food for thought quote, y'all, is brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny. And this is the part where it gets fun. Stalk Your Destiny, where everything you want to become, you already are. And our food for thought quote for today, y'all, I want to say, please forgive me, but don't. Don't forgive me. Our food for thought quote today is, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Now, the thing about this is that I was telling my producer, I was telling DC that I really don't know what the food for thought quote is going to be today when I sent him my timeline for the show. And I just was like, you know what? When he thought that might have been the topic. And I'm like, you know what? That could be the topic, because when we're thinking about food for thought or something to take along your week, take along with you, right? I don't know yet it's a valid thought. I don't know yet. So if we could sit in that for a minute, I don't know yet. Like, just me having the food for thought quote, like, I don't know. How many times have you had to show up for something and you just don't know what to do? You just don't know. I don't know. Or you're hopeful about how something's going to go and you just don't know yet. We have to learn to let it be okay that others may not have the answers that we're looking for or hoping for, and we may not have the answers ourselves. Sometimes we have to go forward in situations without knowing what's next. And to me, that reminds me of blind faith, right? For faith is not the substance of things hoped for, nor the evidence of things. I mean, it is the evidence of things not seen, right? And so I don't know yet, but taking the steps, that's walking by faith, right? So if you're believing for something and you can't map it all out, then consider allowing it to be okay that you don't know. Consider like not having all the answers. Sometimes we try to have all the answers so much that we screw ourselves over, because we try to dictate which way things are going to work out We try to just, some people say, oh, I'm waiting on God, and you're doing everything but waiting. I find that to be funny every time, because if you're waiting on God and you're making it happen, then who really did it? You or God? Who really did it? Did God bless you or did you bless you? I just want to know. Not in a judging manner, in a manner that asks, if you're trusting God and you're waiting God, and maybe God told you to rest or whatever, but you're doing everything to make it happen on your own, what part of that did stretch your faith? And so that is a question, just to something to think about. Okay. But also, in the I don't know yet, showing up and not knowing. I show up on this show a lot, and I tell DC all the time, I'm like, yo, I have no idea what we're about to talk about. And he's like, that's when you have the best shows, when you have no idea what we're getting ready to talk about. And so showing up in your season or moments of I don't know can be a very beautiful thing. It can be a very spontaneous thing. It can be laughable. And if you guys don't know how to laugh at yourself or laugh at life, you will have a hard time, because life is already hard by itself. And so learning to laugh while pressing your way through, right? Learning to let it be okay that you can't control the outcomes. Learning to let it be okay that you don't have all the answers. You're not all knowing. You're not responsible for knowing every single thing all the time. It is okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, let me get back to you. And it's okay to show up, y'all. Me showing up with a food for thought quote, and there is not one. There's not one. I've written all of these books, and today I just don't have it today for you. It's literally, I don't know yet. It's literally, I don't know yet. That's the food for thought quote for today. I don't know. I don't know. And if you really could sit in that, sometimes it's just about allowing whatever is going to happen in that space to take place in that space. It's really such a form of surrender. It really is, because I didn't try to work it out. I didn't try to, after we had the conversation about it, I said, I'm going to go with it. I didn't try to work it out. I didn't try to go find a food for thought quote. I didn't try to make one up. I didn't go through my books and see anything. I said, you know what? We're just going to let it be okay. And we just have to roll with it. Sometimes you just got to learn to roll with it. Okay. And I'm the person too to tell you, it's not easy to do that. I don't like rolling with anything with anybody. I don't like it. I know how to do it. I do it. But I don't necessarily like it, because I have questions. And I'm like, I used to be the person who was like, I need all my questions answered right now before I do anything. But learning to release that type of stress off of yourself too, and off of others, has been very helpful. Like, learn to sit in the I don't know yet. And sometimes I don't know yet is just buying you time. It's buying you time, because you may be seeking an answer that's already there. And we can overlook it because we try to manipulate the situations, or, like I said, we try to create the outcomes for ourselves. And then we end up going against the grain of things rather than allowing things to happen naturally. And I know, like, people are saying now more lately than anything is to attract whatever it is you want to you. Sure, you can attract whatever but that means you have to sit back and wait. That means you have to not know where it's going to come from or how it's going to happen. Okay. So be okay not having all the answers all the time. Be okay showing up anyway, right? Showing up anyway. I don't know, but I'm here. I don't know, but I can find it out. I don't know, but two heads are better than one. Let's figure this thing out together. Right? I don't know yet is our food for thought quote for today, y'all. Simply learn to let it be okay to not always know the answers to everything. You don't have to be a know-it-all. Okay? That is our food for thought quote for the day. Our devotional for the day, y'all, comes from the book of James, chapter 1. I'm going to drink my tea, y'all. I hope y'all got your favorite drink today, too. Mine is fresh and it's hot. So I'm going to read James chapter 1. And I'm going to read verses 1 through 12, and then I'm going to do 16 and 17, okay, for our devotional time. James chapter 1 says, to the 12 tribes scattered among the nations, greetings. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all he does. The brother in humble circumstances ought to take pride in his high position. But if the one who is rich should take pride, but the one who is rich should take pride in his low position, because he will pass away like a wild flower. For the sun riseth with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich man will fade away even while he goes about his business. Verse 12 says, blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. Please excuse me for that slip up. And then I'm going to stop right there. I'll read 16 and verse 17 in just a minute. Okay. So consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. Y'all, none of us want to be tested. Let me promise you that. Let me just tell you that. None of us want to be tested. None of us want to do what it takes, like I said, to grow. Because it can be painful sometimes. Like, perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature. They call it growing pains for a reason. As we grow older, they call it growing pains. Our body's stretching, our body's moving, right? But this says a lot. And listen, I don't know yet where I'm going with this either. Okay. Because we tend to stay on one or two portions of this, and we don't go through a lot more of what's being said here. Okay. And I'm not doing it today, I don't think, but I'm gonna just see whatever God wants to be done here. Okay. So perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And if we would jump back to the book of Psalm 23 that says, the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Like, then your affirmation would be, I am complete. I am whole. I stood the test of time, right? I stood through the trials. Okay. I persevered, right? And so what I love here is that, where does it say it? I guess I didn't get to the part where it says what produces what. Nope. I didn't read that. So let me go forward here still. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault. Y'all, saying I don't know yet is a good reason to get, to say, God, can you help me? That's a good place to start, right? I don't know yet. Lord, can you give me wisdom about this? Can you show me which way to go? Can you show me what to do? That's a good reason and a good opportunity to ask for help. That's a good opportunity to ask those around you for help as well, because we are not all knowing. I don't care how much we know. We don't know it all, right? We all need to go ask someone for advice. We all need to go ask someone for their wisdom. We all need to seek counsel, right? Because we're not always right. Okay, but then it says, but when he asks, he must believe and not doubt. Y'all, are you struggling with doubt? Are you struggling with doubt? I fight it. I don't know about you. I mean, I can't speak for you all, but doubt is something that you don't even have to think about it. Sometimes you doubt things automatically because of what you've been through, what you've experienced, And so that has to be cast down. You know, once you start doubting, you have to remember what you're believing for. What are you believing for? Why are you believing? You know, and just remember that you believe, right? So, like this, right? Let me say, I was a life coach for the last 10 years. I've shared that with you all a lot. I was a life coach for the last 10 years. And God didn't tell me I was no longer a life coach because I didn't believe. Okay. Just because things have not come to pass now doesn't mean they won't come to pass later. I definitely believe what God has told me about who I am and where I'm going. Right. But sometimes we pivot in our approach. We pivot because we don't know what's ahead yet. And so we pivot, you know, in our approach. And in that pivoting, you know, it can cause you to have room for doubt in that room for doubt. And so in this, you know, don't believe, you know, we must believe and not doubt. So you have to work your faith. And I think that we don't really think about it like that. You have to work your faith. Every time you start to feel doubt rise up, you have to work your faith. You have to remind yourself of what you believe in, of why you're doing this. You know, and people stress that a lot in business too, y'all. This is business and Bible basics, so get with it. You know, people stress it a lot in business. What is your why? What is your why? And they drill down on it too. What is your why 7 times? What is your why? Oh, it's my kids. Why? Oh, because they motivated me. Why? You know? And so there are layers to it. Okay? There are layers to that, to working your faith, to not being double-minded. You don't want to be like a wave of the sea. You don't want to be blown and tossed by the wind. You don't want to be easily moved like that. Okay? You don't want to be easily moved like that. But let's go forward. Verse 16 and 17 says, "Don't be deceived, my dear brothers. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows." And what does that mean? For me, that means that you can trust God. Some people say if God said it, then that settles it. God said it, I believe it, and it is so, right? And again, that I don't know yet is hilarious because I feel like sometimes I can look stupid a lot of times, right? If you don't know my story, and even if you do know my story, right? Of all these years of toiling, all these years of doing what God said, y'all, sometimes you feel silly. Sometimes you feel like I must look dumb to everybody around me because I just keep believing. I just keep believing. I keep believing what God said to me. Okay. I keep believing that his plans are for my good. It may not always feel good, and most of the time it's hard, it's tough, very strong obstacles to overcome. However, I'm going to keep working my faith. However, I am going to keep believing because God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And if we truly think about it, you know, and we go back over our times, the song says, you know, when I look over my life, and I think when I look back over my life and I think things over, I believe that's what the song says. I don't know the rest of the song right now because I didn't pre-plan that. If I did, I would have listened to it before the show today. But basically, when you're looking back over your life, it's not things to complain about. We could complain. We all have complaints, right? And you should petition your complaints to the Lord as well, right? We all have complaints. But in our complaints, there's so many things that we turn away from. To make the complaint, we turn away from so many blessings. Just like nowadays, you know, people are like, oh, my friends and my family don't even watch my stuff. They don't even, you know, they're not even following me. They don't even buy my products or anything like that. And okay, I hear you. You could have a valid point, right? You could be very right in saying that. But you're turning away from all of the people that do support you. You're turning away from all of the people that do show up. The Bible tells us that you will summon nations you know not, and nations that do not know you will come unto you because of the Lord your God, for he has endowed you with splendor. And that is Isaiah 55, verse 5. Okay. For those of you who are number people, 555. Okay. If you see 555, remember that God's going to bring strangers to you, people that you ain't never met before, don't know about, and people who've never heard of you before. So just remember that the moment that you start to turn away from the blessings, right? Even in looking at people, right? I don't know if I said this earlier today on this show, but I did over the weekend record a video. It's a short on my YouTube channel that says, you know, you're not entitled to what people say they're going to do for you. You want to hope and believe that they are of integrity and they are of honor, but you're not entitled to it. If they do it, it's a blessing. May you forever be blessed. If they do it, it's a blessing. You're not entitled to it. So we've got to be grateful for those things. And we can't turn away from the good to continue. And I'm guilty of this, y'all. This is why I can speak on it. To continue to point out the negative stuff, whether, you know, and you can appreciate the good and still point out the bad, right? And so to continue to do that is still turning away from, is taking time and energy away from what you're truly being blessed by, right? So be mindful of that. You know, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. God is not a man that he should lie, y'all. And if you stick with your faith long enough and believe and keep believing, you're going to see these things come to pass. And if you don't believe that, find out what I've been doing since 2014. Find out what I've been doing since 2000. The year 2000. Find out who I've been this entire time in my life. And then watch where God takes me. And then watch what God does with the things he told me to do. See, all the things that don't make sense, right? All of these open things, when God tells you to do something, you're just building a catalog. You're just sitting things on the shelf. All these things that didn't go forward, right? It wasn't their time. And that's in the Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time for everything and a season for everything under the sun. Okay? I don't know if I quoted that particular scripture right, but there is a time for everything. Okay? So be mindful of that. Keep trusting God. Keep believing God. Keep having faith. And if anything, y'all, I said I wore pink because pink is my positive color. So keep being positive in your efforts towards the things that you hope will happen. But also, let it be okay if you don't know what's coming next. Let that be okay. Because that's a form, if y'all want this soft life, ladies, and for the gentlemen that want a soft life too, apparently, a soft life is a surrendered life. You got to submit. And I know women don't want to necessarily hear that too, but you submit, you surrender your power and your control. Because I always say this, good leaders lead from the back. Good leaders lead from the back. Y'all know when there's people on stage and they're under the spotlight, those people are looking at the people in the back of the room who are operating the entire situation. Good leaders lead from the back. Okay? So surrender. Surrender your will to God's. Let I don't know sometimes be okay. I don't know yet. You might not know right now, but you'll find out later. Okay? Let that be okay. To do that, y'all. Again, I read James chapter 1, verse 1 through 12, and verse 16 and 17, y'all. Okay? Now, I mentioned, I think y'all can see my book here, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. It's just sitting here right now. And so this book, along with the Tea Time Daily Journal, along with the ABCs to Stalk Your Financial Destiny, which I published only a couple weeks ago, as well as all the Earthly Branches monthly devotionals, y'all, those are what I typically use for this show, for the devotion time. Okay. I have one more to finish writing, and then the last two will be published. It is a 12-book series. They are interactive devotionals, so that you can use it while fasting or use it just in general, okay? They are for you to write inside of. There are, the Earthly Branches, there's a question of the day every day. There's a daily focus every day as well. And then there's just a space for you to write about what the scripture was for that day and how that, the scripture for that week and where you are with things. Okay. And so all of my books are available at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. That's www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. And you can get any of my books there. And planners. There are planners there as well. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that. Again, that's www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Now, if you love this show and you want to be a sponsor of this show, you can go to my website as well, www.stalkyourdestiny.com. And there is, for sponsorship, you can click the Tea Time with Tara tab at the top. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and you will see our sponsorship packages. You can determine from there what package works best for you, or you can send me a message from the website and let me know that you want to talk about an opportunity for sponsorship. We would love to sponsor your ads on this show. And you can do your sponsorship online as well. It's the information and a link for you if you decide to go forward to become a sponsor of the show. Now, to be a sponsor, you can do a shout out. If you want us to shout you out, these are monthly sponsorships. So you can do a shout out. You can have a commercial. It just depends on which package you choose. So if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a company, an organization, or an event coming up that you would like us to share with the world, then consider becoming a sponsor of this show. Okay, the show is doing amazing things. We're doing amazing numbers. And so people are tuning in to hear what is being said every week on the Tea Time with Tara live and on air show. So again, head over to www.stalkyourdestiny, that's STALK, yourdestiny.com. Hit the Tea Time with Tara live and on air tab, I think. You'll find it is easy to navigate this website. Also, though, if you say, okay, well, I love the show, Tara, I don't necessarily need to sponsor an ad or anything, but I would like to support it. You can support the show by sending in a donation. Now, if you want to do that online, you can do that on the website as well at stalkyourdestiny.com, or you can do it via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. And the Cash App is $StalkYourDestiny. Venmo is Stalk Your Destiny, and PayPal is paypal.me/stalkyourdestiny. Or again, you can make your donation through stalkyourdestiny.com. Just hit the donate tab at the top. Okay. Now, I hope that in these last 3 minutes, I drilled it in your head. Stalk your destiny. So you can visit the website. You could take that as your food for thought for the week too, if you just need some encouragement for this week. Stalk your destiny. Why? Because everything you want to become, you already are. Okay. And that's just another way for you all to connect with me. If you're tuning in from Facebook, we're about to have a guest on our show today. So you want to head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny to tune in live there, because this live on Facebook is about to end because we have a guest on the show. You will only see him if you go to the YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. So thank you for tuning in, Facebook. Come on over to YouTube. All right, so everyone else, y'all listen. The funny thing is, my food for thought quote today was, I don't know yet, right? And the thing about it is, I said at the beginning was, I forgot that I had a guest scheduled for today until right before the show. And so I prepared a show for today. Don't worry, I'll do that show next week. Okay. But with it, the topic was be present in your own life. So look forward to that next Monday, y'all. My topic is be present in your own life. Okay. And so now, DC is our guest here. If so, could you bring him up? We're just waiting on our guest, everyone. I think he's here. We're just waiting on our guest. Y'all, our guest for today is Preston Martin. And for those of you that heard that name, which would just be my friends and family, Preston Martin has been my bestest friend in the whole wide world for 26 years now, I guess. 25, 26 years now. And Preston heads an organization called the Morning SIPS, y'all. So be sure to head over to the morningsips.com and check them out. So I believe it's the morningsips.com to check them out. They do have cafes where they focus on mental health, but it is such a conversation you want to be a part of. It's definitely geared towards men, but women, you are okay to join the cafes to listen in and even to chime in sometimes as well. But Preston, are you there? Let's see if he's gonna come up. I don't know yet. DC, can you come up for a second?
He is there. He just took his mic off mute, and he was there picture-wise, but he's not there now.
Okay. Did you get to speak to him in the green room?
I did
Or
not.
no?
I did not.
Okay. I see him coming up now. Okay. Okay. Did you get to
Are you here with us, sir?
green room? Or no? Okay.
Do you hear me?
Coming up now. Do you hear that feedback?
Do you hear me?
Okay. Are you here with us, sir? Or no? Preston, do you? DC, do you hear that feedback? I hear me double time. Preston, do you hear me double time? Okay, I think we're good. Can you hear me? Preston? Can you hear me? Okay. You
Preston,
can't
can you
me.
hear me? Can you hear me, Preston? He can't hear anything.
It's the headphones probably. Can you take the headphones off?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us? Yeah, we're checking technical difficulties. Hold on. Preston, if you can't hear us. Can you disconnect the headphones? I don't know what's happening with that. Goodness. Because I don't know what to tell him which mic. Can you if you can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you able to hear me at all?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm streaming from my iPad, so I can hear you from that. But
Yeah, I hear the kids screaming, but if you can hear me, yes, I can hear you now. You can hear me? Yeah, I hear the kids screaming, but if you can hear me, yes, I can hear you now. I hear feedback playing too, though, Preston. I hear me
I'm
playing
not
back.
hearing you in real time. I'm hearing you from the feed of the radio.
I hear feedback playing too, though, Preston. I hear me. Well, if you want to go ahead and speak, you just go ahead. Because we're on the show right now. We're live. So if you want to go ahead and share, I'll mute.
Take your microphone off mute, buddy. We're having major technical difficulties. He's got his microphone on mute. Could you possibly send him a text to come off mute and then just start talking when he goes solo?
Okay, I'm back. Preston, we saw you, but you are on mute. So we couldn't hear you. Yeah, I don't know why this always happens. Preston has tried to do a couple other shows with me over the years, and it's always a technical challenge when it's him. But when I say it's because he has a lot to share, I don't know why this happens, but hopefully he's coming back to the show. But look, y'all, this gives to the point of still, I don't know yet, because I didn't realize I had a guest. He might end up being a guest next week if we don't get this together today. Because today was a I don't know yet type of situation. And sometimes we have to surrender to that. You have to surrender sometimes to the technical difficulties. It's a live show, so it's gonna be like that sometimes. Especially when you have guests on, anyway. And so you got to be able sometimes to go with the flow in life. Technical difficulties are going to come up, challenges are going to come up. But if we choose to remain positive and we choose to go forward in those things, we can make it to the other side of it. And it may be tough. Preston, we're just waiting on you. So whenever you're ready, you can come in and unmute yourself as well. We don't care about the babies in the background. And so, you have to be able to be able to navigate these things. And so, y'all, one of the things I said I was going to talk about was being present in your own life. Okay, you got to show up no matter what. You got to show up. Hold on, I got a message. I can't hear you in real time. Hold on, y'all. Messaging. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. So I think it's an internet connection that's happening. So there's a delay with when our guest can hear me. And so I did ask him to just come on and share with you all if he is able to. He said he's not hearing me through the live feed on his phone. I don't know what that means. DC, can you still hear me?
100%.
Okay, I'm just gonna
No
tell him to
feedback.
log
I
out and
think what
come
he
back
said,
in.
I think I heard him say that he had you on his headset and another device. So you're going to get an echo. It's kind of like listening to the radio when you're on the radio. If he's on
Right,
two devices, it won't work.
right. I'm just telling him to log out and come back in. Because I know that usually helps when I'm doing it, when I'm on the show, logging out and coming back in. Yeah, so there was a song I was going to share today. It's by Jay Moss. It's an old song. It says, it's called I'ma Do It. And so one of the points I was going to make about being present in your own life is do it anyway. Y'all, this is not perfect, okay? Things happen. That's how life goes. Things happen. But guess what? Do it anyway. Show up anyway. Because, if nobody shows up, isn't it good for you to show up? Hey, Preston, can you hear me now? I see you're back on. I can't tell if you're on mute or not, though. It looks like you're on mute. If you're on mute or not.
Yes, I am on mute because I'm still hearing I'm still hearing you from another device. So I can't hear you in real time. So hopefully we can kind of work through this and, I'll try to keep putting you on mute and hopefully we'll be able to work through this.
No,
But
I can
hey,
hear you. I can hear you. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be put into the back room. You introduce yourself and go ahead and share. You have about 10 minutes to share now. So you go ahead.
okay. So please excuse me, you guys, just working through all the technical difficulties, but I just want to thank you for having me on the show. As always, it is a pleasure having a conversation with you. And hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to more of your viewers as time goes on. But my name is Preston Martin. I'm a longtime friend of Tara's. We go back years, and a lot of this, or at least what I'm going to talk about, has been brewing for years. So of course, you guys just cut me off when you need to because you know I love to talk. But at the same time, I want everyone to learn as we go along. Um, my name, I'm a part of an organization that a part of. I started. It's so humbling to say this, but I started an organization uh, years ago in grad school, which it's really interesting to talk about the beginnings of it because it's very humbling. That the organization is called the Morning SIPS. It focuses on the enhancement of communication for Black men. It comes in a time where we use mental health as a buzzword, a buzz phrase, but in the end, it's really about getting to know who you are and being in the right place for who you need to be, not necessarily for everyone else, because at the end of the day, if you're not right with you, then how can you be right with everyone else? I alluded to the fact that it started in grad school, which I'm not sure who's listening, but those may know that during that time frame, it was a very dark place. It was hard for me to navigate certain worlds, and I had to figure it out. That was the time that I actually got closer to God, and I started realizing what His voice was sounding like to me. Um, it's going through, and I'm a very transparent, and that's what the morning sips is about, is being transparent. I was going through a very dark place, which everyone would know as depression. And when I say depression, like I was deep in the bowels of it. We talk about the darkest places, and I didn't know how to get out of it, but I was functioning. And that's the scariest part about it all, is that every day I was functioning through it. Um, People would see me at school or in the community, and I would have a smile on my face. What they say, rub the oil and act like you don't, nothing's bothering you. And that's exactly who I was. I was a person that you could not tell something was going on, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to navigate the man that I was becoming. And more as years went on, I was recognizing that people in general didn't know how to recognize who they are, what they were going through, what the deepest bowels look like for them. And that is when I created this mindset that I need to be in place to lead people to the water. What does that mean? Lead them to the help, right? We talk about or at least with association to mental health, you talk about therapy. But therapy does not necessarily mean you have to sit and talk to somebody all the time. But what it does mean is you release, right? It's an application for you to release. And that's what I was learning over time is I don't necessarily need to talk to someone all the time, but I do need to have those outlets to release. Um, but what I did find is that men, and in particular, black men, needed a place to release, needed a place to let go, to say what they need to say, and actually be heard, right? Um, it's easy to say, oh, you can go talk, you can go do this, I'm always here for you. But are you? And that was what I had to question. I have friends, and those friends do listen. I mean, Tara is one of them. She listens. I have a guy group of friends that they listen. I have a beautiful wife. She listens. But do you listen? Are you hearing me from the internal parts of who I am? Um, and that became the struggle. So I noticed that women in general had that. They would get their wine, they would go have their girls' night, they would sit there on the phone and talk for hours. Meanwhile, men who are told, don't cry, you don't have emotions, you don't have time to have these emotions, right? You need to be the backbone of your family, you need to be this, you need to be that. You have all this pressure on you to perform, and you have no time or place to release. That was the problem. And so here I am saying, you know what? That's got to change. I have to make space. I have to make a table for someone to sit at and to actually be heard on their account, not mine, right? So when you're talking to me, and what I'm alluding to there is at my cafes, which happens once a month now, um, I have men all across the world show up to these calls and we talk. And there's women on the call. There, I said this is for black men, but there are white men, there are Hispanics, there are all types of walks of life on the call. Straight men, gay men, all types of people. And what it is it's an opportunity to talk. It's an opportunity to be heard, and it's an opportunity to know that you're not alone in any situation that you go through. We just had a cafe call last month and we talked about what it means to be fathers. And is it selfish to feel like you don't want to do something with your kids, right? I mean, it, that I make light of that moment, but that's a real moment. Like sometimes you really just want to lay on the couch and watch TV. And is that okay? Yes, it is because it is okay for you. You can feel and have emotions, and it is okay. You don't always have to perform to what other people want. And so in that conversation evolves and it goes into so many different swirls and this and that. But somehow we ended up talking it, and this always happens. There's a transparency in it. It always happens that someone talks about a deep, dark place. And one of those dark places was that their son, uh, within the last 2 weeks of our conversation, was looking to commit suicide. 16 years old. Now think about that. You are, as a father, as a parent, as a human being, are now seeing the insides of someone else's life. And there are deep moments like that are literally being hoarded into people's hearts. That you have to sit with that for a second. And that is hard to do. Not everyone can take that. But but it is important to know that people need to let that go. They need to be able to release that. Luckily, that child is okay. Luckily, we don't have to bury another young person early. I mean, it is affecting me even now talking about it, reliving the moment because I just cannot imagine a child doing that. Although I myself had already had those thoughts when I was a kid. It hits different when you're a parent. It hits different when you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that they felt like that. And what can I do? What can I do? But when I was young and I was thinking like that, it was like, I just don't want to be the problem anymore. And no one should feel like that. So what do? You make space for them, right? That cleansed his soul that moment, that day, right? That gave him an outlet. And that's what I want to do is provide that for more and more people. As time goes on, I want to bring them to the resources. I want to be able to say, not just I did that because it has nothing to do with that. It actually has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with just bringing the space, making it available to those that need it. So my heart is big. It's always been big. and it'll continue to be big. But I want to allow others to share their hearts with us as well, and we do that. So February 17th, we have another virtual cafe. And you can check our website. It's www.themorningsips.com. If you scroll down to cafes, you'll be able to hit the link and you'll have a seat at the table. I mean, there's no limit of who can show up. If we can get an entire, you know, group of people on this call, it's great. But guess what? I'll do it with just one person because that's who needed it that day. It has nothing to do with the quantity. It has everything to do with the quality that you're receiving. I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed therapist. I am a little old lab planner architect in the DC area. And I do this because I truly, truly care. So the more and more people see that, the more and more they'll come to the table. And I just appreciate you giving me the time and the opportunity to be here. And as always, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. We really got to have you back on, though, because besides doing an intro to the Morning Sips, I know that you have so much more that you can share because of your life story, because of all the many different things that you've experienced and overcome. So we're going to have to rebook you so you can have a full 20 minutes to share, you know, not just about the Morning Sips, which is amazing, but also just more about your journey too, you know, so that other people can grab hold, you know, of the things and relate and, you know, grow in their own lives too, because that is what you do with the Morning Sips as well. You all share and are vulnerable as well to pull from and, you know, fellowship with really one another. And so thank you for that. And you guys, remember, this is Preston Martin. You can go to themorningsips.com, www.themorningsips.com. Excuse me, get on his next cafe. I think you said February. What is it? Say the date again.
Yeah, that's sorry. Again, just waiting for the track to come back, but it's February 17th. It is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so definitely check your listing, your time zone. It is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 17th.
February 17th is a weekday, I believe. So y'all make sure you mark your calendars for that. It's usually on a Saturday. So maybe, I don't know if it's February 21st, but if it's the 17th, that's a weekday. However, y'all, thank you for tuning in today to Tea Time with Tara live and on air. Do me a favor and head over to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. Share this with somebody today just to let them know that support and help is out there. They can look up themorningsips.com and join in on one of those cafes. You join in as well. Again, if you want to be a sponsor on the show or you want to make a donation, please feel free to visit www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop or just stalkyourdestiny.com. All of my books are on there, as well as more information about the show. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in to Tea Time with Tara live and on air. I'm your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. We're here every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great week.
I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna make. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny. Oh.
Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they push a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200 every time. Know what I'ma run from, I'm that one opponent. You don't want none from manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want my to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength assassin, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Live around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.